Hey gang, Akil Stokes here of TradingPower.com. Welcome to this week's, well, not live room review video, but welcome to the video I promised you. And if you guys are new, usually I do what I call a weekend review video where every Thursday night I look at a recap of how the week was, either on the swing trading time frames or the day trading time frames, do a little charting, try to do a little educational stuff, basically a nice weekend Forex video and trading video in general. Last week I put out a video talking about how to determine if it was your system that was failing or maybe it was just yourself. So and I promised a part 2 to that, so here it is. If you didn't see that part 1, I recommend before watching this going back, go under the YouTube thing and wherever it has my list of videos, going back and watching that part 1 first. I apologize in advance for my voice. As I mentioned in last week's video, we did have our track and field conference championships this weekend. We did very well as a team, the best I've done, or the best we've done in about 5 or 6 years, and well, a lot of screaming went into that, so my voice is a little hoarse. But before we get started on kind of my thoughts on how to tell if it's your system or yourself that's failing, I want to go over an interesting video I watched, and a good trader friend of mine sent me this over the weekend. It was from a trader named Karen Supertrader. I didn't take the time to research her real last name, but she was a very, very good trader, mostly SPX. She manages about 196 million and returned about 27.5 in 2013. And she did a really good interview. And I want to bring up some quotes or some of the stuff I took from her interview because it's very similar to what we preach here at Trading Power. And just to show you that, again, here's another trader, in case you're tired of hearing my voice or Jason's voice, here's another very successful traders that realizes that, hey, the main thing in trading isn't really the magic system or anything like that. The real Holy Grail is in that trading psychology. And well, the first quote I took was, she says, it's the power of this goes on. I think she trades about 6 or 7 other people in kind of a group trading atmosphere, and we talked last week about bird dogging and how trading as a group and getting those different ideas from here and here can really improve your trading. And she said it's the power of being in that room. We have great people in the room, and the success goes to all of them. And if anyone's out there trading by themselves, find a partner. Find someone you can trade with. There's a lot of power in that. We get a lot of ideas going back and forth all day. It's very energizing, and I love it. And again, going back to last week, we talked about either for you guys that are in the syndicate where you get that bird dogging effect from Jason and I, or for you guys that are mastermind members, we all get it from each other in that pattern form. The last quote I want to take is she talked about, they asked her, how do you deal with risk? How do you sleep at night, trading and managing on that money? As you know, it could be a very frustrating career that we chose here. And she says, well, the things I can control the emotion of fear and greed. Now, you take the fear out of it, you take the greed out of it, and it's really just statistics. My brain goes towards the statistics. It goes towards the math. So I reference it like playing a big game. And it is to me, I think I probably wrote that in wrong, but it is to me, it's very structured. If I can walk up to a blackjack table and I knew I was going to win 95% of the time, I'd be sitting at that table all night long. And what we do is very similar to that. We're making intelligent decisions and managing those decisions very well. And that goes back to, finding your edge in the market. And that goes to, really back testing, finding a strategy that works, and just basically putting yourself in position to trade that strategy every time it occurs. It's just like she mentioned, going to the blackjack table. If you trade a cipher pattern and you know that the cipher pattern is going to make you money 7 out of 10 times that you trade it, well, then you should just be trying to find as many cipher patterns as possible, because 7 out of every 10 trades you're going to make profit off of. Lastly, she says, I think they asked her something about how does she go about doing it. She says, it's all about the confidence. I have a high level of confidence in what we do because it's proven and because we've done it over and over again. And that kind of filters into the discussion for today. How do I know if it's me or my system that's failing? Now, the trader that sent me the original message on Facebook, which I shared with you guys, this is a little different. This guy's been trading for 2 years. I know he's very specific with back testing. He goes through all the hoops and everything he has to do before trading a system. And he's happened to have a drawdown for 2 years. And that's a little different. And what I told this trader was, well, at this point, it may be worth taking a break. And that mainly comes from the end of that message where he said he's starting to get frustrated and make mistakes like passing up on trading opportunities or taking profits early. And I said, once you feel yourself losing control in the market, the best thing you can do is just take a break. And that means either stop trading or maybe go back to a demo account for a little bit, but do something to kind of reset your mind. Because if you know you're going in greedy, or if you know you're going in scared, it's just a matter of time before you start making mistake after mistake after mistake. And really in his case where it's 2 years and, everything in his testing and his back testing told him, that really, he's way past his max drawdown. It's at this point in time where it really may be the system, that's difficult. Now, there are other traders out there where it's a little different. Maybe you just started trading in January. You start the year fresh and you've lost 2 months in a row, or you're down for a little bit and you're starting to get frustrated. I wouldn't go ahead and start quitting there. Remember, trading is a long journey. We should be looking at yearly statistics, meaning, I don't do day to day or week to week. We want to look at month to month. That's fine. But the big picture is the year, and 2 months into the year is, there should be no reason to panic right now. But some steps that you want to go through is this, and I have my little notes, is you want to give yourself a self-evaluation first and foremost, meaning that one thing I like to do after every trading day is go back through my session and see, did I make any mistakes? So I would recommend going through, you have your data, you should have your data of each trade you took. I would go back to January and start scrolling through every single trade you took and ask yourself, did I enter this correct? Did I take targets off at the right place? Did I set stops correct? Was this really an impulse leg? Was this really a legit signal if you're trading a system? Basically, go through those past trades and see if there was something that you did wrong first and foremost, because a lot of times there is. A lot of times you'll find yourself making mistakes and, oh man, I really should have took it here, but I didn't, or yeah, I did get greedy, and that's going to mess with the results. You also want to, when you're going back to look at your back testing, if you were a trader that did the right back testing and back testing said you should be profitable this percent of the time or whatnot, and your live trading is telling you something a little different. A few things you want to pay attention to is first the hours of the day. I run into a lot of traders that back test 24 hours. They back test patterns, and we're assuming they're day traders. They back test patterns and setups from 12 o'clock in the morning to 12 o'clock at night. However, when they do their live trading, they may only be trading from 5 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at 8 o'clock in the morning, a 3-hour period. So if you know you're going to be trading a specific period, make sure you go back and check your back testing through that specific period, because markets, in the lower time frames, markets are going to act differently during different types of the days, or different times of the day. I trade the U.S. London crossover session from about 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. I'm going to get an entirely different type of movement within those 3 hours than if I were to trade, say, the Asian session, for 3 hours at night. So you want to go back and check that. Also, if you're a very, very low time frame trader, like a scalper, someone that's trading the minute charts or the 3-minute charts, or even some of the range bar charts, the spread can take account. I had a system that I back tested for years and years and years worth of data, and it was very profitable on the range bar charts, taking very small targets. Took about a 1 or 2 ATR targets. So I'm looking at about 8 pips for target 1 and 16 pips for target 2. Unfortunately, when I tried trading it live, once the spread was calculated in, well, those eight pip targets, if assuming I was able to get in at the exact right moment, those 8 pip targets were now going to 5 pip targets. So I was really losing 3 pips on each trade, and well, over time that made a big difference in my profitability. So if you're trading really, really low time frames, you want to take that spread into account as well, and see if that's making a difference. Other than that, like I said, you want to go back to your back testing. and you want to compare your largest drawdown. What is your max drawdown? What's the most you lost on your entire portfolio at once, and see how that compares to your trading now. And if there's a big, if you're within that max drawdown, then there should be nothing to fear at all. If you're getting way past it, you want to start considering, hey, again, reviewing my system and going back to am I doing anything wrong? Is it me? Let's see. Last thing I would say is, and this is more for the longer term traders, make sure you test over different environments as well. A lot of us, if you're going to be on a 4-hour chart or something like that, don't just do back testing of 1 year, because you're going to go through different market environments. There's going to be years when the market just trends and trends and trends, and basically, if you're a trend continuation trader, you can enter anywhere and win. You can enter literally anywhere and make money if the market's just continuing to trend up. So you want to test out the market. Does your system work when the market's trending? Does it work over the years where the market's more in consolidation? And that can be an important factor as well. If you have a system that works only in consolidation, and you take a year like, was it 2010? Was it when the euro was just soaring up? You're gonna have a rougher year than, say, something like like last year, where we see some consolidation in the markets. So you want to take that into account too when you're doing your back testing, especially on the higher time frames. I like to go at least 5 years back. I'll try to get as much data as I can, but at least 5 years back, and get a good idea of, hey, how does it work during this type of year? How does it work during that type of year? Do I have to deal with certain pain when the market's doing this? Am I gonna see a lot more profit, a lot more winners when the market's doing something like that? So that's something to take into account. But that's about it. I had one more Facebook message I want to bring up. Let me see. And here it goes as well. It says, Kill, hope you're doing well, mate. Just wanted to ask if you found the past 2 months, January and February, difficult for pattern trading. As I told you previously, I'm currently testing a particular pattern after spending months of back testing. My forward testing is still not providing results similar to back testing, to the point that I'm thinking I'm doing something drastically wrong. I've had to watch about 70% of my orders get blasted through to hit stops, and if there were a prize for fastest hit of my stops, I would win. I'm following my rules to a T, but I'm just seeing it fail repeatedly. Is there anything I should look at doing this point? Should I go back and restart my backtesting all over again? And I think I covered a lot of that already, but the main point, especially if you've just started live trading, here's what you want to think about. We're only 2 months into the year. It's a marathon, not a sprint. We're only 2 months in a year. I try to put a positive spin on it. In my last 2 years of day trading, I've had 2 negative months each year within the last 2 years. So out of 24 months, I've had 4 losing months. This year, I'm down both January and February. Now, how I like to put it is, hey, I know I'm going to have losing months. Do I expect only 2 losing months a year? No, I expect more than that. I haven't had that, but it's certainly an expectation. But what you can't do is you can't forget about the past, because the current situation looks a little cloudy. If you had 2 months in a row, guess what? We've got 10 left. Is it possible you can win all 10? Yes. Is it possible you can have 2 more losing months and have 4 losing months and 8 winning months? Yes. You'll probably still be very profitable doing that. You want to think of the big picture and not freak out over what's happening currently. Now, 6 months down the road, if it's continually to be the same pattern, then that's when you want to get to the part like the first trader where, hey, let's take a break and let's really evaluate what we're doing. But until then, you just got to keep your calm. You got to keep your confidence. And if you did your back testing, you just got to trust it. You just got to trust it. It takes a while. It takes a while, and it often takes a while of live trading as well to really build that confidence. But trust me, from someone that's been there before, you just got to trust it, and that's going to make a big difference in the future, because there will be times in the future where the market is just kicking your behind. Maybe it comes a year from now, maybe it comes 2 years from now, but when that time does come, you're going to be able to sit back and say, man, I remember 2014 when I just got hammered for the first 3 months and then traded the next 9 and finished with 20% return. Yeah, I did it before, so why can't I do it again? So use this time to get yourself stronger, guys, mentally. Fight through it. Trust your system. More importantly, trust yourself. And you got to believe if you're doing everything right, you should come out on the profitable or the good side of things. So that's it for today. I think, yeah, that's it for today. My voice is shot. So hope you guys enjoyed that. And as always, plan your trade, trade your plan. I'll see you Thursday night.